Hello everyone, what's up boys? Good morning. It's not usual for me to stream in the morning, but I said why not? It's a nice Sunday morning here, and I have a lot of stuff to do. I want to do on the character creation, and I said let's do a pre-stream. Let's consider it a pre-stream of this afternoon. This afternoon I will stream for sure. I will start about 3 p.m. I think. And I can go for about 5 hours until around 8, I think. So I think will be a good stream. At the moment, just 1 second, I'm trying to log in into Restream while I don't see your chat. I see Tony joining, hello, and Tua, hello. So I decided to have a quick stream anyway. I'm finishing a bit of space on my main disk, so I'm moving some games from one place to the other. Otherwise, I don't have enough space in the SSD drive. I have a million space on as usual. You have space in the disk that you don't need, right? Okay. Anyway. Okay, good. Let me share my screen. So what I want to show you today is a bit of stuff that I did on the character creation, and here we are. And in particular, the choices, the life choices for the character. So I think it's pretty much done. Just the graphics, the UI has to be changed a bit. So I don't know exactly what will be the final form. So what you see here is just the functionality. It's just the functionality of it, and we will change some of the graphics. I mean, this background most likely will change. I don't know, maybe the colors slightly, and some of the spheres that we created may change as well. At the moment they are pretty heavy in terms of materials, and we may lighten them a bit. So let me show you how it works. Basically, this 150 is not exactly centered. Why is centered when it's... that's strange. When it's not full screen, it's centered. When it's full screen, it's not centered. Okay, I will have to check that. Strange. But anyway, this is kind of the second screen that you will have in the character creation. Because the first one will be the third one, because the first one will be the selection of the traits, the second one will be the zodiacs, and this one will be the third. And so you have certain categories which are here on the left and the right of the screen, and you can select one of these categories, like siblings, birth events, home. So the purpose of this screen is to describe what happened in your life from the beginning until the time you start to play the game. Okay. So for example, you select siblings. Okay, there are a few options, and again, the text here may not be the final one. It's just to test the functionality. But so siblings, like you have no siblings, you develop a stronger personality, more self-confidence, you like communication, right? So that is one of the choices. Then you go forward, you have another choice, and so on. And there is this destiny cost, which is actually the cost associated to that particular choice. And there should be also the bonuses. Now, the bonuses are not listed, but we will list them, at least in terms of text. I don't know if we will list the exact numbers, but anyway. So you choose one, and there is this nice effect of this ball getting selected and going here. Then you select another one, another ball goes here, you select another one, and so on. Okay, so if you want at any time to review one of the options that you selected, you can just click on it, and you will see what you have selected, right? And if you want, you can discard it or you can keep it. So you can also discard your choices. Now you can have a maximum of 10 at the moment, a maximum of 10, and you can yeah, you can basically fill the screen with 10 choices. Now if you have already selected a choice, there is obviously the check. So there are certain categories that are one choice only. So for example, the home, you cannot select to have 2, 3, 4 different types of home. You can select only one. So you see that as soon as you click on this one, it's telling you there is one choice, and the choose button is not there anymore, right? Also, it tells you which one you picked. Like this one is the second one. This is the one that you picked. So basically, you cannot change it. If you have elements that you can pick more than one, it just tells you, for example, that this one is already picked. But if you want to pick another one, you can, right? And the same here, you can, right? And so on. So it's working. It's pretty much working okay. I don't know if 10 choices are enough or not. I think if we had enough options in the live events, I think that will be interesting for the players. So when you arrive to 10, in theory, let me see if it works. Yes, it should not allow you to pick anything else. I didn't test that too much, but okay, so it allows you to do it. So I don't know what happens if you click choose now. So that has to be fixed. So when you reach 10, it should not allow you to pick anything else. And yeah, and you have here the destiny points left, right? That you can use now. Sorry, I was yawning. So the points now that I set are like 4, 5, and 6 just for demo purposes, but these options are going to cost way more. So you will reach a point where you don't have any destiny points left. Okay. Now, if you want to remove one option, you can. So if I go to none and I discard this one, there is a little animation where basically the last of the option you selected is switched with the one that you want to delete. Okay, so you will say, for example, if I take this one and I remove this one will jump there. Okay, and they will switch in terms of everything, in terms of choices, in terms of, and also it gives you back your destiny point. Okay, so this is how it works. I think it's pretty cool as a UI. I like it. I just need to fix this thing not getting centered. I don't know why it's not centered. It's pretty annoying. Yeah, so that's what it is. Now, I did it in a completely separate project. So this is in a project that is residing in another directory. So it's not residing in my main PS Unreal directory. And again is a completely separate project. I did it for speed of development because, as you can see, I can just click on it, click on play, and test it directly, without starting the server, the client, connecting, putting logins, and all of that. So it's I think in general it's a best practice to develop it like this. Now, what I want to do is to integrate it, right? This was a bit of an early schema, but it's still valid. Where yes, basically, I think we can delete all of that because all of this this was helping me to reason on what I wanted to port, right? So I want to port everything basically. So all these choices are now part of the of this Sphere UI. This was before I was working on the Sphere UI. So let me just delete all of this mess. And yeah, so this thing is basically ported into the Sphere UI. Let's call it, right? So it is ported properly to PS Unreal. All of this. No, all of this, all the first part, which is related to, we still missed the final review. Yeah, so this thing is not correct anyway, yeah? Because the So I'm just deleting this. So basically what we ported actually is not this part, but is the path screen, the background, the start and the skills, the no keep no money, the upload tutorial area. Well, the quick, we basically killed it. Okay, so what we decided is that we don't have anymore a quick creation. Now I don't know if I'm going to reintroduce it in the future, but a quick creation is dead. Okay, so we can say no quick creation. Right? So we killed it. For the advanced creation, we created the sphere UI. For the advanced creation, we created the sphere UI, and the sphere UI is getting all of this up to here, and what we are missing the final review and the upload, right? The final review, I think the final review, I don't know if I want to keep the final review. I don't know if I want to keep the final review. We have to think about it. So final review, and and then definitely the upload, enter the game. Okay, so this is when you upload and enter the game. That's something that we need to have, and then the tutorial we will see. Okay, so that's the thing. So now let's go and integrate with a bit of time that we have. We have about 1 hour before lunch. Meanwhile, I hope this thing is moving. I asked Steam to move one of my games to the other disk because we are finishing the space on the SSD drive, which is this one. Yes, it's freeing up space. I see it's already 4 gig free. Is a game that is like 30 gig or so. So we will have 30 gig. I want to leave this C drive only for Unreal. So how do we do the migration of this part into the main project? Well, we have few ways. One is to just say migrate to project, and you can move some assets, or you can copy the assets between the two projects manually. Now we have to think. So this project is already kind of organized in a way that it can be moved. Okay, so I already made it this way. So we have two UI. One UI is the one at the back. So this is the one that basically keeps the category names. This one, the category names, the selection names, and this number. Which again, I don't know why it's not in the center, but anyway, we will see. And then there is the second one, which is keeping the which is the zoom. When you zoom on one object, it is showing the information on one object. Okay, so these are these two UI with configurable buttons. Now then I have one new object which is called Live Choice, and one new manager which is called Live Choice Manager. And then there are textures and assets. Now in game mode I did nothing. In player controller I think I did nothing. Well, actually I have some stuff here. The final location setup spheres. Okay, so I have these two things that I think I need to do. I need to move, and I have this one which is the live choice. Okay, and then I think I have something also in the main level. We have to think where to move this stuff. I think it can be in the begin play as well. I think it's fine to keep it in the not in the level. I think I don't want it in the level, but it can be or in the player controller. Maybe in the player controller begin play. I think would be enough. Yeah, I think in the player controller would be okay. So I'm going to move all of this chunk into a specific graph. Okay, let's try to move it. So where do we start? I think if we move the UI, I can also do a massive copy and see what happens, you know. If I keep the same directories, I think it will kind of work. Let me see, sphere menu is this one, sphere menu, content, right? It is the directory that is keeping everything. So I have these assets, material and texture. I don't think I have this directory in my, so this one I think I can copy one to one just to keep the materials. Yeah, asset doesn't exist, so I think it's fine. We can just paste this one as it is. So with textures and textures and materials. The blueprints definitely I have. Let me see what I need. I need life choice manager, player controller, no, PS spline. I don't know why I have also this spline asset. This spline asset I think is left over. By the way, it doesn't show here. It's probably a redirector. Yeah, it's a redirector. You see the size is 2K, so it's super small. It's a redirector of the previous. I renamed the thing. So I think I can just move to blueprints, these assets. Maybe we will then move them to another directory, but when you are moving like this, it's important you keep the same directory, so otherwise it will never work. Data structure we need. Developers, I have no idea what is this directory. So data structures we need. Maps, no, we will not copy. Starter content, we have nothing in UI, so I need to copy UI and data structures. Okay, and then I think we have pretty much everything. UI and data structures. Actually, UI is already here. It's okay. I can overwrite with data structures. We don't have. Why UI? Okay, in UI just added my life choice. Okay, we will kind of split this. Okay, so now I think we have all the pieces. Let's try to launch the editor for the main game and see what happens. Let's try to launch this and see what happens. I should see the assets. Obviously, they will not work as a default. Hello, I see more people joining. Welcome. We are streaming on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. So if you want to speak up, no problem. If you want to ask any questions on what I'm doing, I can explain. Okay, load it up. Okay, load it up. So let's see if our assets are in the right place. Okay, so yes, we have our data structure. So these two, I think we can move easily to another place, but for now, let's keep them there. Let's see if our UI is popping up. There are two redirectors actually. Okay, we really don't need those redirectors, but let me see if the UI opens up properly. I think it will. Well, let's see. Now here we are in the main project, okay? So here we have everything of our game. There's also why it takes a bit more time to open up stuff. And that's exactly the reason why I developed it separately. Yes, okay, open up properly. We see our UI, we see all the, all the stuff here. We see the graph. We have all our functions, so all these functions should be working okay, and that's nice. Now we can try to click on compile. Yeah, in theory it should work. Yes, in fact it's working okay, so he has no problem in compiling this UI. This UI is having some issues. Let me see why. Could not find a variable named Life Choice Manager in Character Creation Life Choice UI. Yes, because this one is expecting, so it's normal that it does this problem, is expecting a pointer to the UI inside the player controller, and considering we change projects, obviously it's not in the same player controller, right? So what we need to do, we need to switch this to be, so we need one variable which is called Life Choice Manager, which is a reference to Life Choice Manager into my player controller. Do we want to do it the same way? Yeah, I would say yes. So let's get the main player controller class, which is this one, Planship player controller, this one. And let's go to the variables here. I'm just checking if this is the right place, but I would say yes. I think all the UI pointers that I have are already here. You see this long list. By the way, this character select widget should also be under UI pointers. Yes, so I need to create a new variable. I need to create a new variable to which we will call, what was the name? Life Choice Manager. Yes, Life Choice Manager. So let's create a new variable which is called Life Choice Manager, which is of type Life Choice Manager. Okay, which will hold the pointer to that. So let's recompile the controller. And yes, I need to check out this thing. Hopefully it's not checked out by anyone else. No, it's not, so I'm lucky. And so now here what we can do Planeship player controller cast to Planeship player controller, and with this one we will have our Life Choice Manager, right? Life Choice Manager, which we just added. Okay, and now this one we can connect it here, and we can delete this stuff. So now should be, at least this part should be fine. Right? In fact, this part compiles. The same we should do here because it's the same problem. The problem is we have a lot of connections. Okay, we have a lot of connections. We have three. Well, we have three connections. We have 1, 2, and 3. So we have to remember, those three connections. One here, one here, and one here. Okay. This one now is disconnected from the graph. Now, if you want to know how I did the different parts of the UI, you can ask. Okay, so this one still have a number of problems. Oops, I forgot to connect this one. Yeah, the problems will be pretty much the same. You see, also in this case, it's just searching the same life choice manager, so it's exactly the same fix. So it's pretty easy to fix. We just need to be sure that we are connecting, all the parts. We are not forgetting anything. But I think it's only this, right? 1, 2, and 3. Yes, it should be only this. Okay, so I'm reconnecting this one. And okay, let me see if it gives us still many errors. Yes, it still has a lot of errors. Well, this one is the same. I think it will basically be only the same error. This one about the Planeship player controller, because all the rest we copied. So this one goes here, if it's this one goes here, and the life choice manager goes here, and I think that's it. There are no other connections. Yes, there are no other connections. Okay, nice. There are still some printouts, but we can leave them to debug. There is a warning that is saying could not find a function handle choice pick called handle choice pick. That's very strange. Don't understand why. There is some mess in the why you cannot find it is here. Okay, I'm just going to reconnect and reset all the pieces. Choice ID is coming from where? Choice ID is coming from here. So I connected everything, right? Category name, choice ID, target, and then I connected this one, and this one is not going anywhere. So I can delete this. Okay, I don't know why I was not seeing it. Maybe it changed name or something. Oops. It's saying the same thing. Could not find the function handle choice pick. I don't understand what he's saying. Because probably there are some errors inside of this. Okay, yeah. Since the function has compile errors, is telling you at the upper level that is not able to find the function, but actually the errors were here, so we're inside this manager. Okay. So here we will have a number of errors due to the fact that we have to cast a PlaneShip player controller now, because in the other project there was a different controller, and it's perfectly expected, you know. Spawn life choice. Okay. Yeah, this one. This one is a function that I had on my player controller, and I didn't port. Okay. This one I think I need to port somehow. This one I need to port. So if you go back to the other project, which is here, there is one function in the player controller actually that I had to put there because there was no other chance. It's long to explain why, but this function I had to keep in here. Okay, so I think I need to copy it and put it in my player controller. Now, what is a good place for this function? Can I just leave it like this, or I want to categorize it somehow? Maybe I will categorize it. And he has one parameter only, which is called position, and has one output. So let's just copy all the parameters to be sure that we are in the same. So there is a vector, and then there is one output, which is one output node, which is a life choice, and is a life choice what? A life choice object. Okay, it's a life choice object. So I do this, and then I select the type, which is life choice. Okay, so I have my return parameter equal and my input parameter the same, and then I just copy this spawn actor. I think it will be a bit harder than this anyway to copy to port it fully. I will show you later why, but it's not that easy because I think we will have some issue with the coordinate system, because actually I was centered in 000. I was centered in 000 in the sample project, and I'm not centered in I'm not in the same coordinates in the real project. So I think that's what will will happen. So if I recompile this guy, now this guy should be more happy in finding spawn live choice. Yes. Now we just need to be sure that we are not messing up, because the position was coming from here. And then this live choice is going in many different places. So it's going here, it's going here. It's a bit like a puzzle, you know, when you it's a bit like a puzzle when you are trying to connect all these pieces. Okay, so I can delete now these two, I would say, because I copied everything. And now this one should not error anymore, but we still have a number of other errors, which I think will be pretty much the same. They will be all identical, all on PlaneShift player controller, because it's the only one that changed. Yes, you see it is the same thing. So we just cast it to our PlaneShift controller. We need to do this. We need to do spawn live choice. But yeah, it's pretty easy anyway, no? I just need to be sure to get the position from the right place, which is here, and that I connect my live choice in all the places where it's needed. So here, and here. Okay. By the way, if you didn't follow the stream yet, please do. So follow on Twitch and subscribe on YouTube. That will help me, because the more people we have that are following the stream, the more viewers we get. So, and the more viewers we get, the more people we get the next time. So it's a bit of a a chain of events. So if you're new to the stream, please follow and subscribe. Okay, so this one compiled surprisingly, which is nice, and this one compiled as well. So I think we removed all the errors. I really hope I didn't mess up any of the connections, but it seems not. It's pretty good to add these reroute nodes, in general when you have multiple connections, and mainly when you have multiple connection to a player controller class or a specific class, so that when you are then moving the project to your main project, you can just reconnect to the reroute node, and it's much easier instead of chasing the lines all over the graph. So, okay, so this one should now compile okay. Now it's still giving a warning. Why is giving this warning? Oh no, the warning went away, you see. I clicked on compile and it went away. Nice, so this one we have. So we have these three fully compiled and ported. Now let me see what else we have. The two UI. One UI we open. Let's open the other UI and try to click on compile. Okay, this one compiles as well. Very nice. Let's open the blueprint. So the live choice, which by the way I will move somewhere, because in the middle of this is a bit of a mess. Where is it? Live choice is here. Live choice manager, we have it open already. Let's try to compile this one. Okay, it's giving some errors. They will pretty much be the same ones that I checked already. Yes, in fact, one is the cast to the PlaneShift player controller, and just need to be sure I'm connecting. So this one is going to the finished. If we mess up this, nothing will work anymore. So you should be extra careful. Live choice manager. In connecting the right pieces. Is this all the connections? So there is more. Well, there is one and one, and these two I did. And there is one entering, which I connected here. So I think it should be all. Okay, so we recompile, and this error is gone away. Fine, log selection was not connected. Okay. Then, wow, we have This one is not connected. Why? Okay, this one I was forgetting, I guess. Okay, and everything else is going into place. Very, very nice. If you want to see this graph, you see, the graphs are pretty big anyway. So it took me quite some time to build that UI. I mean, it looks simple, but if you consider all the cases, of deleting an option, adding an option, zooming a category, skipping between categories, I mean, all of that, it took me quite a bit. Okay, so this one compiled as well. I think it was the last one because I don't think we have any other big class. We have the spline. Yeah, we have the spline, but the spline I can compile it, but there's nothing in it. So the spline is just a class that we keep. Okay, nice. Now that everything is kind of working, I mean it's kind of compiled, not working but compiled. What we can do, we can try to add that particular UI into the flow of the character creation. Okay, so that should happen after the traits choice, right? We can put it there for now. So when you click on, let me think. When you click on character creation race, exactly. When you are inside this screen, why quick and advanced? Didn't I change it the last stream? I forgot to save it. I think I forgot to save it or something happened because it's still, well, there was one option only and there were not two anymore. That's a bit weird. Character creation race. Is this the last version or not? Content. UI. Main menu. Character creation race. Let me try to do an update just to see if I mess up something. But no, it's up to date. So. No, it's up to date. So okay. So maybe I didn't save that one. But the point is that quick and advanced do not exist anymore. So I think we can delete this. Let me just check what it was doing in terms of code. Was doing quite some stuff. Was doing server handle name. Okay, why we need to do this? I don't remember what it's doing. I think it's just checking the fact that the name is a valid name or something like that. And then how is moving to the next screen? I have no idea. I think the advanced is not moving to any screen. Yes, and the quick is here. The quick is here. Is just okay. So it's just brutally adding the screen, creating the screen, and adding to the viewport. So just doing that. Very very simple. In this case, it was not checking the name. Yeah. I have to check what is the server handle name is doing because I really don't remember it. It is on Planeship Player Controller. Let's go and check. Let's go in the C++ side of the world and see. There should be a server function here. Server handle name. Server handle name. What is this doing? Is blueprint callable? Okay. It's not implemented. There should be a handle name here. Client handle name implementation. So it's going trigger the event client side, implement the BP graph on handle name. No, this is a very old thing that I did. I don't do RPC calls anymore like this. So I don't know what this is really. This was done very long time ago. On handle name. Yeah, just going server side and then it's just asking. Let me see if this on handle name, where is it? It must be here if it's called by someone. Yes. It's actually here. It's just popping up a message saying you got a name validated by the server. I think it was a test that I did. I think it was just a test. It was nothing really valid. It was just for me to go back and forth between, the UI, the server, and the client. The server and the client, and just testing the RPC functionality, because actually it does nothing. So I think we can skip it. I think it's not needed. We still need to validate all the options, but I think it's better if we do it after the live choice and then after the traits. So yeah, so when we are in the character creation race, this one, I think we can switch, the quick to be something else. And we can kill the advanced. So the advanced we don't care. So I just did this check to ensure that I was not deleting something useful. So we can just delete that. We can just rename this for now to next, and then we will see how to name it. Someone suggested to name it Transcend. And someone suggested to name it Birth. But yeah, for now I will name it Next. I know it's not very exciting, but we'll name it Next. So the next, then let me also rename the button name, because so this will be button is going to the zodiacs and then it's going to the life choices. Let's name it button next, and it's okay because there's only one anyway in the UI, so it's fine. So it's not named quick anymore. So what we need to do here, we need to remove the current UI first of all, which by the way we were not doing here, but I think, well, because we can go back, so we should not remove it. Yes, right, because we should. Can we go back? That's a good question. I think I didn't think about it. Can we go back from the zodiac or the life choices? I think you cannot anymore. You can restart everything from scratch, but maybe we'll allow to go back at the end of the process. Yeah, maybe. So for now we keep the UI up until we enter the game, okay? Because it makes no sense to delete it. I don't know why it's getting the selected race, but okay, it's fine. I think it was just another test. And then, okay, instead of creating this, I think we can create our life choice UI. Now we need to create two things. We need to create the category selection, and we need to create well, one is always visible, which is the categories. So we need to create the categories UI. We need to create the categories UI. I don't think I want this to be inside the manager that we have of all the windows, because anyway it's happening one time in character creation. So I think I will just create the UI here instead of creating it up front and then storing it in a variable. I think it makes I think it's fine. I think it's fine. Um, so we can just then add it to the viewport. We will show this UI on screen. And the thing that we need to do, we will have to teleport the player, to a certain location. Otherwise, I mean, to the side of the podium, there is another area where he will be. But I think that's okay. That's fine. So we will have to teleport them. Don't know exactly where, but I will check. I think I already added a camera. In the map where I want. Let me just do something. Let me just update the map to be sure that I have the latest one, because maybe some people updated it and I don't want to start to modify stuff on the maps if someone else updated. Actually, I should update content fully. It's a bit risky to do it, but let's do it because I think I need to do it. So let's save what I modified. Yes, let's check out this. So I will just update. Let me update everything. Let me just update PS Unreal and see what happens. Yeah, there are a number of updates from other people on the two main cities. Something updated on one character, one monster. Some items. Okay, it's not too. I mean, it's not too much. So I think it's fine. Let me just do something. Okay. Now we're just running a discussion in parallel. So let me do this. Now that everything is updated, which is nice, so we can actually do changes without fearing to override the work of someone else, which is good. Yeah, this message you see here in the bottom right is just saying that there are some sources that is because I also copied. I think I copied also some image files, but okay. So what I want to do now, I want to go in the podium area. I think I renamed it. Yes, I renamed it to podium, which is this one. So I want to open the podium map. Okay, and within the podium map, if I do like focus selected, okay, the podium map is this. There is just the pedestal that we are using in the character selection. Okay, so it's a very simple map. Just your character will stand there and is as simple as this. Now I think I did some other changes, but I don't see them. I think I discarded those changes. It was just a an horizontal plane here. It was nothing more than an horizontal plane, black with. So let me check what is this thing. Yeah, M black. Okay, so I think we can have to the left of this. Okay, to the left of this. There is the x vector. There is the x vector. I would like, if possible, to keep it, in the same direction. In the same direction. So where was the x vector here? The x vector was this. So the x vector was pointing at my camera. Okay, nice. I think we can do the same, so that I don't have to change, most of the coordinates. Otherwise, it become a mess. If I have to switch, everything. We already be a mess with the coordinates, I'm pretty sure. So basically, what I'm saying is that I need my camera to look this way, because the x vector now is pointing at me, right? And so the podium map, I lost it, but it's here. I think there is another. Why is appearing and disappearing? Like if there is a box. Ah, yes, there is another. I think there are boxes all around. Yeah, there is like. Okay, so I think I can copy this one. By the way, I think we can rename these walls. I mean, cube 1, cube 2, cube 3. I think it's pretty annoying. So we will call it. We will call it podium wall left. Right? Let's just rename this thing so at least they are meaningful when we look at the list. So this will be podium wall left. This will be podium wall back. And this will be podium roof. Okay, so at least those three are named properly. I think we can duplicate the roof. And what is it? I'm not seeing it. Edit, duplicate. So I was not seeing it. So this one we will call it live choice. Well, the first thing we need to do, we will have the one for the zodiac set. But then, okay, let's call it live choice. Do I need it, by the way? I don't know if I really need it. Well, let's use it anyway. I'm not sure I really need it. So let's create another area, which will be here. I don't think we need a lot of space because it's a very small level. So I can just put it, I can just put it like this. And then I will take, I have no idea what is this thing. It's a landscape. Okay, because we are below the ground. And then I will take this one, and I will duplicate it as well. And I will call it live choice back. Okay. And this one we will move it. This is because now I don't have anything loaded up, but when we will have something loaded up, it may be that we will see part of the landscape, part of the other UI, the other elements like skybox, things like that. So I don't want that to show up in this level. I want this level to be, fully dark and fully closed. I think we will probably place also a right side, but let's say for sure a top, because I think without the top we will be in trouble. Let me just go down a bit because maybe we need a bit more space. I don't remember how much space. We're basically in this situation, like we are in this situation. So it's pretty close to me. Now I cannot judge exactly how distant it is, but is minus 760. Is minus 760 from me. don't know exactly how big is that, but I think it should be fine because this one is 94 500 95 is more than enough. There is 4,000 space, so it's more than enough. More than enough, so it's perfectly fine. This area is more than good. It's more than good. The only thing that I think from the camera perspective, the left and right, I think I will see a bit of that. So if I can scale it, a bit more, you know, so that it covers the whole camera, I think would be better. Yes, so something like that. The same for the floor. If I can scale it a bit more. No, the other direction. And just be sure that it's covering the whole area and we are not messing up. Okay, that should be fine. So my camera will sit here. And now what we need to do, I think we cannot only move the camera because we will need anyway the player to interact. I'm not sure actually if I should if I should only move the camera or because here I think we add the player position, the player start position. So I don't want to leave the player start here while I'm interacting here. So I think we can just move him. So I think I can take any point here. We can put a point. Let me put a live choice for a second so we see where we land. I think it's loading the blueprint. Boom. Okay, so let me try. Yeah, I think this location is fine for now. So let's try to take this location and let's try to TP the player to this location. Okay. Do I want to put a live choice or do I want to put any other dummy parameter? Do I want to just hard code the coordinates? I think I can hard code the coordinates. It's not a problem. Okay, so I think we can use this these coordinates. Why not? You can just use these coordinates. Who cares? So what we can do now is to move the character. So I think it will be a teleport. I'm not fully sure if in the character creation we already have the character which is my character, or we just have a camera looking at my character from the front. I think that's probably what is it, huh? That's a very good question. I don't remember how we did the initial UI. So when you spawn, right? When you are in the character creation race, right, and you are looking at this, and you have the podium on the bottom, on the back. I mean, you have the podium level inside of this thing. I'm wondering if you are already possessing that character and just looking through a camera, or how does that work? I don't really remember, but maybe we can check if we go into the creation of this. Event construct, player controller, set, request the creation. But this is no, this is before. We have to go before this. For sure we need to go before this. before this. Before this is the selection widget, which is this one, which already has the same map in the background, right? Which already has the same map in the background. So how do we end up after the login? I think it's just after the login. I think it's in pre-helper. I think it's here somewhere in the code, because it should be here when we are request character, server-side request character, iterate over the characters. No. Find character class. No, it's not even here. It's even before this. Okay. Let me check then the login UI. Okay, so here we are in the login. We click on login, and after we click on this, we are teleported where we need to be. So set input game mode, game and UI. Okay, that's fine. If you don't select the memory pass options, so nothing changed. We are saving, but password changed. User password instead. Okay, this is the password thing. Okay, it's doing open level. That's it. It's doing open level, and the level name is coming from what the hell is this? It's coming from the address. But open level name options. Okay, it's coming from this. So I don't know exactly what we are opening, but we are opening something. I think we have this login debug. So if we search this login debug, we will find it because we put it by purpose. Okay. So if I go into any client log and I search for that, no, it's on the server side. Okay, it's not in the server, it's not in the client. I don't know what is it. Oh, okay, see, because I didn't have the wraparound. Okay, it's just opening level 127.0.0.1.7.7.7.7. So it is opening the server connection, right? Now, so we just gave the option to the server to connect my character. Now I really don't remember, where the hell we have the connection. Is in game mode? Game mode login. Game mode login. Make sure the client is running in blah blah blah. Again, indicate the server, play and control server super login, remote login. Case manage play controller, can update username and password. Query. Okay, it checks that the username and password are okay. If they are okay, it basically acknowledge. Pre-login. Where is the player teleported to the world? I remember we had. Okay, here it is. Pre-game helper, request character, load. No, but this is the teleport to the main world. No. I want to know. I think, you know what? I think it's nothing complex. I think it's simply that if I go in my persistent level, I have a player start position, and the player start position is here. And so when I open the level, it just brings my my guy here. Okay, I think we will need to test it because I don't know up front. I cannot figure out exactly what I need to do. So I think that we need. I will try to teleport the player You know, the problem is I don't know if I already have a pawn or not. I think I can test it. When I click on next, I think we have our next button, right? When I click on next, I think we can, which is here. I think we can, yeah, we can create our UIs, no problem. But the point is, I would like to move it from the podium map. So I would like to check. So we are inside. We are not inside player controller, huh? So I need to get my player controller. So let's do it after this. Let's do it after this. So let's try to get the player controller, and I don't think I can teleport the player controller, right? Can I teleport the? I think it is teleport is getting the pawn automatically, right? Because if I do get pawn, get control pawn, and I use teleport, teleport is actually to a new location. What is the difference if I use teleport from here or if I use teleport from here? It's exactly the same. I think it's just for simplicity they are doing get pawn and then they are okay. So let's try to teleport my player controller, which I should have, right? Because I'm in the game, I'm logged in, and I'm looking at something, so it should be there in theory. So I will teleport and let's go and let's get this location, okay, and see what happens. Okay, I have no idea what will happen if I teleport him there, but we will see. So destined location will be this, and this. So for now we just hard coded. Okay, so it's okay. And anyway, this location will stay the same forever, so I think it's not a problem. Now the rotation for me will be important that it looks you know, this way. So I don't know exactly how much, but I think it's like x minus 180, something like that. I will try minus 180x. I think it should look that way. And the result, if he can do it or not, maybe we can just branch it and say successfully teleported or not. Teleport okay, or teleport failed, because I think that something may happen. Teleport failed. Okay. Nice. So let's see what happens, okay? Because we need to TP in that location, right? And then we will have to move. The other thing that we need to do, we need to move in this location all the different objects that we have here, which are in particular two splines, this background, and nothing else, I guess. Yeah, nothing else actually. So I just need a plane. Okay, so let's try to put it now. So at least we see something, otherwise we will not see anything. This plane is multiplied by 7. So if I take a plane and I put it here, and I multiply it by 7, I mean I scale it by 7, and I rotate it this way, so that we can see it. Actually, it's pretty small, but I think it's just because the world scene is small, you know. I think the world scene is very small, but I think in terms of distance, I think it's fine, because I should be like here and see, you know, if I'm positioned here, I should see that as big as this, maybe a bit less. Should be similar to what we have in this example, you know. So it should be roughly as big as this. Okay, on this plane we want to apply the same texture here, which is yoga something. I think we can rename it, but okay. So we applied that. Don't know why it's rotated, but it's okay. Okay, so we apply this. Then we need 2 splines. Now I don't remember if the splines were, let me check. The splines were PS spline main and PS. I think the names are important because we are searching for those. I think I also had a tag. Yes, I also had a tag on them. So I need to create 2 PS splines exactly of that type. So PS spline. Okay, I can drag it here. One. Let me just see where it's located. It's a bit in a stupid place. I think I can put it more at the front. Okay. Is it? Yeah, that's perfect location. Anyway, these splines will be changed then. So the important point is that the spline is named well and has the tag. Otherwise, it will never work. So this will be PSS spline main, and I'm adding a tag which is called main, and then I need another PS spline pretty similar to this one. What happened? Let me just see if it's in a stupid location. It is a bit, so we're gonna move it in a location which is more meaningful for us, like next to this one. Okay, maybe not too close. Okay, like this. Okay, so this will be the second spline. The splines are the ones that are creating the curves. Okay, the curves when the sphere is moving. So just to show you in the demo level. So you see when this sphere is teleporting to me, some is say animating to me, or this one, you know, is doing this. All this movement is based on splines. Okay, and we create a spline. By the way, I can show you the spline. If I do show splines, you will see, you know, you will see the splines in 3D. If I detach from this character, and you see these are the splines that I created on the fly to actually create that animation. Okay, and then I have my sphere just follow the spline. So that is how it works, okay, behind the scenes, basically. So whenever I click on something, you see another spline is created. And when it goes back, another spline is created. When I choose, other splines are created, you see? And when I remove, I discard, other splines are created. See? So, yeah. So these are all the splines. These are all the lines called splines because they are curved, but that we create to have, you know, that kind of effect. So I need in the level 2 splines so that those can be then manipulated later on. This one also need a tag, and the tag of this one, let me just double check, but I think it should be pick. Yes, it's pick. So this one is pick. So we'll call it pick. Okay, so we have the two splines and the background. Now I think also we need the black sphere, which is this one. Yes, we need the black sphere. We need the black sphere, which is basically positioned in the middle. I think for that I did nothing else than just dragging in a sphere. And I don't know if I gave it a specific size. I think I shrinked it a bit. Yeah, 070707. So I think we can do the same. 070707. And then in terms of material, I just use pure black, so black without any refraction, anything. And put it here in the middle. Yeah, there is no light at the moment here, so I think we need to put some light, otherwise we will see nothing. The thing I did it, yeah, the light could be a problem because here I have a directional light, but directional light, I think is happening to the is applicable to the whole world, right? I think if I put a directional light, it will be a bit of a mess. I think I will try to use or a spotlight or a point light. The problem is that it's not uniform on the. It's not uniform and usually it's not strong enough. But let me try. Yeah, is the fall off? Can I remove the fall off completely? Attenuation radius. Bounce the light visible influence. This clamping the light influence not visible. No, I want to remove the fall off. Maximum distance light property. Let me see if I search for. Use inverse square fall off. Light fall off exponent 0. I want it to be exactly 0. Wow, that's a bit too strong, but at least I reached what I wanted to do. So, okay, so let's do 10. Okay, so it is not falling off. That's very nice, exactly what I need. I needed the light, not too perfect, so beautiful. To be constant, to be uniform on this figure. Now I can decide the level. I think like this is okay. Okay, fine. So this one we can save. So we have that. We have this. We have the two splines, and we have this, and we are teleporting the player to this location, basically where there is this thing, right? So if we are looking at the right side, we will see this. I think I can move this. I think why I cannot select it. Okay, I can move this a bit like this. So if for any reason we are looking at the other side, we will see at least this sphere. Otherwise, we will see complete emptiness. We will not realize where we were and what we are doing. Looks nice. Okay, just 1 second, so I move on also other stuff. There's one guy that wants to help us, which is very nice. And Um, okay, good. So after we do this, let me just launch the game then and see what happens, right? Because in theory, we should at least be teleported there after we create a character. So let me launch the server. Let me launch the client and see if. By the way, do we have more space now? Did I move the game? Let me see. Properties. We have 36 giga. Very very good. I think I will move all the others as well because I don't need them on this drive. I have a lot of space on E. How much I have on E? On E I have 2 terabyte available, so I can just simply move them here. And on F, I think also I have quite a bit. Well, not too much. On F I have 400 giga available, but I think it's okay. I mean, it's still a lot. Okay, so the server is starting, the client is starting. The only issue we have is that this will try to load all the maps. This will try to load all the maps. But I think it's okay because now we are loading only. I don't know if the server will try to create. Let me see. I think I calculated distance fields for all the objects already. I think I did. Okay, everything is running. You see it is starting to calculate the distance fields. And it's trying to load up all the other levels, which I think is something that we can. Okay, so we loaded in here. Now I would like to create a new character and see what happens. And I click on next. Okay, nothing happens. I've not been teleported. Did I connect the teleport? Yes. Let me see if the teleport failed for some reason because we added the printout, right? It's saying teleport okay, but actually our camera is not moving at all and our player is not moving at all. And then we are getting some errors on access and non trying to read property live choice manager. Okay, yeah, that is because we have I'm wondering why is happening just after the teleport. Because it's when I'm opening the character creation UI. Okay. Yeah, this one is correct because we did not initialize the live choice manager to anything. So the problem is that it did not move at all my camera. You know? Did not move at all my camera. Did not move at all my camera. I need to understand what we are doing with the camera here because I need the camera to be moved, you know. I really need the camera to be moved. I don't know if I should TP. Like when I'm rotating here, you see that I'm rotating with the right. I'm clicking the right mouse button and I'm rotating. So it means that this one is somehow managed. I think this one is somehow managed. I don't remember how I do it. I didn't do it myself, by the way. Someone else doing that part. How do we manage that rotation? Do we do it in? I think it should be inside Planeshift Player Controller under character select and create. Character creation, upload character. Oh, this is very nice, but it's not what I need. It's not what I need. Is inside my phone. It could be inside PS character. We handle the rotation because the right click, you know, the right click. I think we go under mouse and keyboard exactly. Mouse and keyboard input. This one is the one that is managing the mouse. Now the question is when I right click. Maybe we added it on I think I know how we did it. Wait a second. I think we know how we did it. I think this thing potentially has no, it doesn't have a component here. I was thinking maybe we added a component on top of this to manage that. Hello, Real Rolex. Thank you for the follow. It is Unreal Engine easy for beginners because I want to start making a game. Well, yeah, I think it is. Depends what you want to do. I mean, if you start with a simple game, is fairly easy. Also, there are a significant number of examples. So the best will be that you take an existing example, for example, a third-person example or a platform example, or a scroller or a 2D game example. There are many also in the standard library. So if you go, I will show you. If you go in the launcher, of Unreal, there is an area dedicated to library and learn, but I think the learn one probably is the easiest. And under learn, there are significant number of examples just showing features. So here you just see how, I don't know, put a light, how to destruct a building, how to whatever. But then there should also be, if you go down here, yes, gameplay concepts. So this area, gameplay concepts. So these are pretty cool because, for example, if you want to make a turn-based strategy game, you just click on this one, and it allows you to download a project. You see, this one is free, it's available, you can just get it, and you can create this project just downloading it, and so you will have a fully working example of that. You want to make a racing game? I remember there was a very nice racing tutorial. When I was searching for the splines, I don't remember if he's here. Maybe not. Yeah, splines. This one, blueprint splines track. This one, I think he has a warning. There is okay. There is some compatibility thing, but I think this one is pretty cool. Let me see if I can find the. It's not available anymore for some reason. But I think you can still download it. I mean, you see that it's very old engine supported version, but I think you can still download it. I think we still kind of work somehow. Blueprint spine track. If you search this one, blueprint spine tracks. No, I think you will find it. Yeah, it is. You see, there is a tutorial. It is 1 hour and 30 tutorial where the guy was working on it. And is explaining you a bit how it works.
It can be a pain at first as you get used to working that way.
Also, this guy has pink hair, which is helping a lot.
Ever have a full underscore?
But let me see if there is a place where he. So here he's designing the tracks, and he's designing it with splines and explaining you how to do it. I mean, this is a very, very good start. Also, I think that as a default, if you create a new project, there is a vehicle already existing in Unreal. So if you start and you do new projects, I remember there is a vehicle template where you already have kind of a Formula One small car that just you can move already. So I think you can start from a very good point, you know. Okay, let's go back to what we were doing. So yeah. So what we need to do, we need to see how we are moving the camera and how we are interacting there, because I want to understand. So the teleport of my player controller didn't work at all, by the way. So that was not successful. Wait, I'm in the wrong project. That's why I'm getting lost. That's why I'm lost, because the real project is this one. Okay, maybe in this one, in the graph, we are managing the mouse movement. What are we managing that mouse movement? Update all view, request match name, button next, random name, advanced, move next straight. I think I did a piece of this because I cannot remember that, but I don't see, again, I don't see the mouse movement at all. So all we do it here, but it's a bit weird that we do it here. First person, relative location, input access lookup, role, request role. Maybe it's this one? No, the role, no, the role is not. Attack and target select, mouse access. Because on this part, we are definitely not doing it, I guess. I don't remember, because this part I touched it recently. Interesting. So somehow, when we are right clicking here, we are rotating the scene. If I search rotate, it's not there. I don't know. I have to go to lunch anyway. I have to go to lunch very soon. So I will do lunch. I will stream in the afternoon. Okay, so I will try to solve. Maybe I will try to solve this problem off stream so that when I connect, I will already have the camera moving properly. And but we will see each other in the afternoon for sure. Okay, so I want to do maybe from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. something like that, European time. I will be streaming, and what I want to do, I want to be sure that yes, this thing that we have here, oh sorry, this thing that we have here properly works also in the real game. Okay, so for now it's a separate project, but I want this to be fully working also in our plane shift game, so that we will have the full integration. And then I want to integrate the zodiacs, which is another part that I can build. So I think this afternoon we can do these two pieces fairly. It should be okay. I mean, 5 hours. I think I can do that, and maybe even more, depending on how much hard points I find. But if I find any showstoppers or whatever, but I hope not. Okay, so with that said, thank you for watching. If you didn't follow yet, follow the stream, and have fun. See you later.